Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I've got a pretty ropey rack with 3 eyes. I'd like to play off at least 2 of them, and that may be tricky. If my opponent plays an E, I could have a Yeti, or I would have Yeti. But I can't see anything great with the tiles on my rack, but the rack looks too good to change. If I can score well enough with the other tiles, I may end up retaining 2 eyes, but ideally I'd like to get rid of 2 or 3. No E provided. The K, the only useful looking floater. So I could play Tiki, keeping ACIY and not scoring very much. Just 10 points. So what about placing my Y underneath the K? I've got YI, but I don't have any plays ending or beginning YI or beginning AYI. How annoying. Well, I guess I could play City, and this is the scenario I envisaged of scoring well and retaining 2 eyes. So I'm very much in the hands of the Scrabble gods in terms of my pickup. Pretty good. That could have been a lot worse. I'm very close to a bingo here. I don't think I have a 7, but there probably will be quite a few 8s. Only the C floater at the moment, and well, that's gone. But do I have something through the D or the G? Edacities is a 9-letter play, so that doesn't work. I have Assidious, which is going to be pretty volatile, placing an A underneath this double letter square. So, do I have anything else? I don't think Assidious has an anagram. What about a play beginning with the G or through the G? Beginning with the G would be a double-double. Can't see anything. Great, well, I have a bingo. A good turnaround from my opening rack, 74 points. That is grim. However, quite a few vowels on the board, so not a problem. I've got true through the E of Assidious, and I don't mind playing that because I've got an S for making trues. So I'm looking to play off the W and one of the T's and at least one other tile, and possibly or probably only one other tile. What about a play beginning at J2? And A double T is good. So do I have something? Well, I've got want. I'm just wondering about waltz, which would be better in terms of rack leave, and certainly a word I should know. I think walty is good and walt isn't. Well, walt doesn't play anyway because of IL isn't good. So that's 16 points, keeping LRST and giving nothing away. True, 15 points. Yeah, I think this is a better rack leave than LNST. And a slightly better score. So is there something better than this? Well, not through this A. What about through, in column 5, through the I? Because AKA takes... Wow, does it take a W in front? Okay, I'm going to abandon that because it's certainly not going to get doubled. So it's not going to be much better than this. Want for 16. And that is a good pickup. I draw the blank and I also draw a vowel. Slightly light on vowels, but it's still a pretty good looking rack. I got les through the E for 32. That would leave one of the best 5-letter rack leaves there is. But there could be a bingo with this rack. So lazarettes through an A or an E. There's the A of Acker. Great, only 17 points for my opponent. So les stays available. The only thing better than that, I think, would be a bingo. Let me just consider the blank as a vowel. Nothing, and I'm looking for sevens here. Nothing with an A. E. No. I. No. O. No. U. No. Y. No. Okay, so what about 8? Says the A of Acker. Unlikely. And the E of Caged, also unlikely. So les for 32. Great. That is a bingo-y rack. I've got orates and Ackers. And, well, orates, at and tar. Do I have a play ending with A? Okay, that boat has flown. So I have orates in row L. What about a play beginning with the L? So LAU, LEU. Can't see anything. Orates does place vowels next to double word squares, which isn't good. Let me have a look for sevens. I note that Juve has taken out the S hook for Acker. So I'm pretty much limited to row L. A play beginning with the Z wouldn't get doubled and would open the bottom row, so I'm pretty much looking at a play beginning with L or beginning above the T. And it's worth looking for to avoid the vowels next to premium squares. So that's orates. Arbutes. Slightly better, U rather than A. Any anagrams of arbutes? Serbate. Great. But does serbate take a hook? I think it does, which I want to avoid, so I'm going to keep looking. Actures. Okay. That places vowels next to premium squares. Uriate also does. Forest doesn't play. Can't see anything there. Whoa, what's happening? Okay, can't see anything there. That looks like there should be something. Amateurs through an A. Matures. And Stroomy. Again, doesn't work. Saunter has a hook. Anters for 67. Not great placing the S there. It would be nicer if it began with an S. How am I doing for time? Crikey, 12 minutes on my clock. I got up to N. Right, this is where I was. Stature. Well, that takes hooks. Estuary. I'm actually going with estuary because the U's not particularly dangerous next to a premium square, and the S isn't available for hooks, and estuary takes nothing after it. So finally, I have a play. And that's quite a nice pickup. I can't see a 7. There could be an 8. And if there isn't, I've got the F for score. Just looking at the floaters in estuary. And I'm not seeing anything. I've got feign in column 14 for 28 points, and I think that takes a D, although I'm not sure. Okay, I can't see a bingo with this rack. But if I could play off, well, even just the F and the N, the rack lead would be good, so I could play fun. Wow, I've got a good lead. 12 points for my opponent. Huey takes an A, which I've got, so I could play fanned. It wrecks the rack, but it scores 43 points, and there's still a blank to come, and it's not particularly dangerous. The N isn't next to a premium... Sorry, I don't have a vowel next to a premium square, and only short words can play in row O. Not great, but not bad either. I suspect there are some 8s with this rack. I can't see a 7, and not too many floaters to consider. I've got the para prefix with ORT. That's not great. F takes an A after it. That stays available. No new floaters for bingos. Parator not good. Uva takes nothing in front, so the U only available for a row F bingo. Sorry, the only tile of Uva available for a bingo is the U in row F. So, do I play through the I? Can I get the P on that spot? Pitter. Okay, what have I got in row O? Proa. I quite like Proa. Rack leave of art is nice. 23 points. 27 for Pitter, but a much worse rack leave. Fantastic. That is a bingo-y looking rack. And if my opponent plays in row H, he'll be providing a floater. And if he doesn't, I've got 2 7-letter bingo lanes. Great. Surely I have something which ends in an E. And that is... nothing that jumps to mind. 9 minutes on my clock. Okay, there is something which ends in an E because there must be. And I'm going to have to look for it. Not seen anything yet, but it will be there. Still nothing. And still nothing. Tritonia through an I. Now, what about tryptane? Is that spelt with an I? I don't want to phony. Okay, so there must be several bingos here. Nitrates, tartines, tertians. Okay, stop there. Okay, so do I go with tryptane? I think I will. It'll be pretty annoying if it comes off, but I'm over 100 points in front and I've got the blank. 8 minutes on my clock. Surely there must be an alternative play there. Tincture, yes. Great, and this scores more. Tincture for 74. Not great, but I've got a 200-point lead and I've got a mix of vowels and consonants with some scoring tiles, so overall pretty good. 22 tiles left, but I'm sufficiently far ahead that this game, I think, is in the bag. Although I note that the triple letter square next to the U is available for a 50-point X play. I'll be looking to play off quite a lot of tiles from this rack. 27 for my opponent. So, only 7 minutes on my clock. I'm not quite sure where the time's gone. I thought for a moment I had floor down here, but it fails. And I don't have forlorn. What about the V? Well, this board doesn't actually have a lot of places to play. At takes nothing in front. Column 10 is good, but I can't see a way of getting my F or V tripled. Quite a few vowels to come, including O's. So why don't I play O-Voli, which sorts out the O's, gets rid of the V, splits up the duplicate L, and scores 16 points. And blocks a couple of bingo lanes, but opens a couple of new ones. Okay, not great. UW not a nice combination, but I've got furrow on my rack, which is a nice way of burning a lot of tiles. I can play that in rows B or D for not very many points, but turning over a huge number of tiles. 16 for my opponent, so he's played off just one tile. Now, furrow would score a lot more in row B, but playing down here doesn't provide access to the triple word square. Great, I have xylenes. I've actually drawn a bingo, and that plays in row B, making sow. And it plays in row E, making fee and us. So, pretty unlucky if both of those spots gets blocked, and a pretty fortunate pickup given that I was just turning over tiles for the sake of turning them over. And if both bingos are blocked, they're not. I could have played X in column 14. Now, my row B spot has been blocked. So, what I have is this. Xylenes fee and us for 91. Bang. And that empties the bag. I can see what my opponent's got. He's got boomies, which I don't think is a word, but boomiest is. I've got a 200 and something point lead. I've got the J. Oh, wow. Boomiest was playable. Okay, great end for my opponent. So, pass to end the game. And the final score. 345 to my opponent, 482 to me, a winning margin of 137 points. So a massive, massive win. Let's see what I missed. And it would have been even massiver without my opponent's final move bingo. Oh, gosh, my opponent misspelled liquor. I simply didn't spot that. That's a shame. So my opponent goes first. He plays Acker. I play City. That looks fine. Opponent plays Caged. I have Assidious, nothing else. Opponent plays Gang. Twin, G5. Okay, so Whacker was good. Twin and Dan for 20. I played the same tiles for 4 fewer points, so yeah, Twin would have been better. Horrible rack for my opponent. He plays Ice. And I play Les. No bingos here. Rack remains horrible for my opponent, and now I have a great rack. L6, Lustrate, so there was a play beginning with the L. And I play Estuary for 67, so I dropped a few points there. Opponent plays Huia, and I have Fanned for 43, which was a nice score and helped to consolidate my lead. Wow, look at that. I simply didn't see that he transposed the O and the U. Okay. Not a problem. And my rack. Pitter for 27 I thought about, and then I went for Proa. Fewer points, but a much nicer rack leave. Opponent plays Hide. Now I took forever to find Tincture. That rack line also available, and Triptane was spelt with an I. And I would have played that if I hadn't seen Tincture. And then a bunch of other bingos elsewhere. Opponent plays Did. And I have Ovoli for 16 and nothing obviously better. Opponent plays Sop. And now look at this, not a great rack. But I play Furrow. I don't play it there, I play it at G1 for 20. No, I don't. I don't play it in either of those spots. I play it elsewhere for 18. Opponent plays Beam. Then I bingo with Xylenes, and my opponent bingoes out. So quite an explosive end to the game, and a high-scoring game for me, nearly 500 points. And lots of good words and a wide-open game on the board. So I hope you enjoyed watching that, and I will see you next time.